Mistress Nomad, and I'm doing a little demonstration on how to make your own e-juice with One Stop DIY Shop's Artisan's Master Kit. So, what are we going to be doing today? We are going to be doing flavor testing, how to figure out what flavors you like, how strong you like them, that kind of thing. And we'll also be doing how to make actual nicotine juice that you want to vape. So, before we get into that, I just want to do a quick little PSA. The nicotine juice that comes with the kit is intended for dilution. The strength that I have here is 48 milligram, and you should not vape this straight. It could potentially make you feel quite ill. Obviously, you also want to keep it out of the reach of children and pets, because they're even more sensitive than you are, more likely than not. So, take advantage of the childproof cap and keep it out of reach of curious little hands and paws. So, serious stuff is out of the way. Let's get to DIYing. Alright, so now you have your Artisan's Master Kit. What is all this cool stuff I have in front of me, and what do you do with it? Alright, so you get two 30 milliliter bottles, 60 milliliters in total, of either 36 milligram or 48 milligram nicotine juice. You can choose if you want it 100% PG, 100% VG, or 50-50 of the two. You get your dilution base. You can choose propylene glycol or vegetable glycerin. I have propylene glycol. You get 120 milliliters of that. You get 8 6 milliliter bottles of whatever flavors you want from the list given. They can be either Loran's flavorings or professional flavors. You get an assortment of empty bottles, 2 15 milliliters, 2 10 milliliters, 2 6 milliliters, and 2 3 milliliters. 4 3 milliliter pipettes, 4 1 milliliter pipettes, 2 2 milliliter droppers, a couple of cool little measuring cup dealies, a cute little funnel, 5 milliliter syringe with a blunt tip needle, a pair of tweezers, a pair of nitrite gloves, and a cool little DIY mixing pamphlet. So, that is what you've got to work with. So, how do you start? Well, if you look inside your little pamphlet here at the mixing and testing sections, basically it's how to test a flavor. And basically what you want to do for that is you want to have a 1 milliliter sample, and all you use for this is your dilution base and your flavoring. In this case, let's try Jamaican rum. You don't have to use the nicotine juice in this because you're just trying to get a feel for how the flavor is. So let's just use these two. Take one of your empty 3 milliliter bottles, take off the cap, and take off the little dropper dealie and set those aside. And you are trying to make 1 milliliter, so basically you want 80% of your dilution base and 20% of your flavor. So 80% of the dilution base would be 0.8 milliliters. And I will grab one of my 1 milliliter pipettes and measure out about 0.8 milliliters. That's about right. And you just stick it right in there. Squeeze out the pipette a few times to get most of the PG out of it. Set that aside. Close it back up. And then you take your flavoring. Mine's Jamaican rum. I give it a shake, just in case. And take off the dropper on this as well. And I will take another pipette, and you want 20% flavoring, which would be 0.2 milliliters, and measure just below the 0.25 line, which is about 0.2. That's about right. And you stick that in your little bottle. And there you have your little 1 milliliter, oh, that one goes in here, your little 1 milliliter sample of your no nicotine flavor tester. And what you can do is put this all back together, give it a shake, and you can drop it in your atomizer or whatever to see if you like it. Basically the purpose of this is just to try a little bit before you wind up, committing yourself to using nicotine and, maybe making a bigger batch. You can see if you want stronger flavor, weaker flavor, if you really love this or if you really hate it, and basically just see how it works out for you. And from there, you can move on to making bigger batches. I happen to know that 20% flavor is a little strong for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do the real deal now. You take another 3 milliliter empty bottle, and I like 16 milligram nicotine juice. So what you can do to figure out how to dilute the nicotine properly, how to get harder to measure amounts of flavor in PG, is you can go to the One Stop DIY Shop website. Click on the Mixing Instructions tab at the top of the website, and then about halfway down the page there will be a link to a Google spreadsheet, and you click that and hit File, and then download it as either Excel or OpenOffice, whatever it is you're using, and you will get a cool little spreadsheet mixing guide that looks like this. And you can type in how many milligrams your nicotine base is, what percentage of flavor you want, and it will spit out at you what you need. So, I have discovered that in order to get 16 milligram juice from 48 milligrams and 12% flavor, I will need 1 milliliter of my 48 milligram nicotine juice, 1.64 milliliters of my propylene glycol, and 0.36 milliliters of my Jamaican rum. So, first you want to open up your nicotine juice. And it will come with a sealed top because, as we discussed, this stuff is, not very nice for kids and pets. And honestly, getting a lot of it on yourself is probably not very nice for you either. So, you take one of your 1 milliliter pipettes, and you want 1 milliliter of the nicotine juice, and this is to make 16 milligram. So I fill it all the way to the 1 milliliter line and put it in here. Sweet. And you close that back up. It has a nice little child safety lid on there. And next is the propylene glycol. And for this mix I need 1.64 milliliters of that. So I will take one of my 3 milliliter pipettes, and I will measure a little bit above the 1.5 milliliter line to estimate about where 1.6 milliliters is. Put that in my bottle. Sweet. And last but not least, we have the flavoring. Shake it up. Take off your little cap. And in this case, I will simply reuse the pipette that I used for this flavor the last time. And I need 0.36 milliliters of that. Put that in your bottle, and you are pretty much ready to rock and roll. Okay, so you've made your juice. There's a couple things you have to do before you get around to vaping it. The first is to label your bottle. Always make sure you label your juice. I've just cut out a little piece of paper and put the flavor and the strength on it and slapped it on there with some clear tape. You don't want mystery juice floating around and you have no idea what it is and you're trying to sniff it to figure it out, and that's just a mess. So label your juice. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you clean up your work area, just in case you got some of the concentrated nicotine juice on your counter, wherever. So always make sure that you clean up your work area. And now it's time to vape. So I'm going to take my Jamaican rum, which I have just made. I'm going to take my 510, which has a little drip tip on it. Dripping is a really cool way to try flavors. And just put a couple of drops on the atomizer. Let's see how it vapes. Sweet. And there you have it. You have just made your own DIY juice. And this is, of course, just a really simple way to get started. There's a ton of stuff you can do. On the pamphlet that comes with your kit, there's also some helpful hints on how to do multiple flavor mixes, deal with sweeteners, menthol crystals, tobacco absolute, all kinds of stuff. So you can get as creative as you want to. And obviously you will have plenty of supplies to get creative with. If you want more product information, prices, if you have any questions, go to One Stop DIY Shop and they will have all the information that you need. So, this is Mistress Nomad, and I hope you enjoyed my little DIY tutorial.